Hi guys, we are the students of Senior High School Department from University of Cebu, Banilad campus. So, we are here right now to know the various type of resources of the earth, renewable and non-renewable.
So hi guys, the first resources of the earth is the renewable. The first example is the sun. Here, the sun. Did you know that the sun is a source of energy? The energy that we get from the sun is called solar energy. All the natural phenomenon like the flowing of wind, water cycle, photosynthesis, etc. are possible only due to solar energy. Nowadays, solar energy is being used to cook food with the help of solar cookers, heater water, light street pump water for irrigating fields.
Question: what's the most abundant energy source in our solar system? Here's a hint. It's 1 million times bigger than the Earth, and without it, our planet would be a dark, cold rock floating in space. You guessed it, the incredible, brilliant sun. The Earth gets more energy from this ball of fire and gas in one day than the whole world's population uses in an entire year. Every living thing depends on the sun for its existence, from tiny microbes deep in the ocean to plants, animals, and people. Humans have been tinkering with solar energy since the dawn of time. Ancient civilizations used glass and mirrors to light fires. But it wasn't until the 1950s that technology was developed to convert the sun's energy into electricity using photovoltaic cells. Today, solar technology is more efficient and less expensive, and is used all around the globe to create electricity, heat water, cook food, and even power vehicles. So how do solar panels usually work? When the sun hits a solar panel, material inside, usually silicon, absorbs the energy. This causes the electrons in its atoms to get very excited and start dancing around. The atoms then get hot and shed the electrons, which travel out of the panel, through copper wiring, and zap! We have electricity. A control device, called an inverter, changes this electricity from direct current to the alternating current we use. The electricity then passes from breaker boxes to outlets and into electrical items, like your computer and lights. Whatever you don't use can go back into the grid to be used by someone else. So there you have it. The amazing power of the sun. Some people see a future where most of our energy can come from this pollution-free and renewable resource. And that's a sunny outlook that will make the whole world.
Second example of renewable resources is hydro energy. The example of hydro energy is water.
Water is important. Natural resources, all living organisms need water to live. Humans need for many purposes such as drink, cleaning, cooking, and for growing crops. Water flowing into the river or water stored in a dam is sources of hydro energy. The sample method to use hydro energy is to convert into electrical energy. That's all, thank you.
Renewable Energy 101. Water covers 71% of the Earth's surface and is vital to our daily lives. It can also be a clean, renewable, reliable source of electricity. Hydroelectric energy comes from capturing the force of moving water that's in our Earth's rivers and oceans. We do this by using the movement of the water to spin hydraulic turbines. That generates kinetic energy, which is converted to electricity through a generator, and then sent to the power grid. Most hydropower is generated from dams built on rivers and streams, often where there's a big drop in elevation, so gravity can help us out. Dams block the water's natural flow and force it through a large pipe with the turbine and generator, before releasing it back into the stream on the other side of the dam. Today, we know that dams, most of which were built before the 1960s here in the US, can disrupt river ecosystems. There haven't been many new hydro plants built in the US in a few decades, but some existing dams are beginning to be tapped for their electricity generating potential, and existing hydro facilities are being upgraded to be less harmful to plants, fish, and wildlife. This helps us get the electricity we need while protecting the natural environment around us. Now that's a win-win.
The first example of non-renewable resources is the natural gas. Natural gas is trapped underground in reservoirs. It is a mixture of several gases including methane, ethane, propane, and butane. The good news is that it burns completely and leaves no ashes, which means that it is one of the cleanest fossil fuels. The data suggests that burning natural gas results in fewer emissions of nearly all types of air pollutants, while in terms of carbon dioxide, natural gas emits 117 pounds per million British thermal units, while coal emits 200 pounds and oil 160 pounds.
Natural gas is the gaseous form of fossil fuels. It is often found near oil deposits in the subsurface. It is lighter than air and composed mainly of methane, which is why it has no smell. Before natural gas can be used, a special additive is mixed in to give it an odor so it can be easily detected. Natural gas is also pumped to the surface, often via the same pump that is used to retrieve oil. Natural gas is mainly used for heating our homes.
So the second example of the non-renewable resources is the fossil fuels. So a fossil fuel is a fuel formed by natural process such as anaerobic decomposition of buried dead organisms. Containing fuel is a fuel formed by natural process such as anaerobic decomposition of buried dead organism containing energy originating in ancient photosynthesis, such organism and their resulting fossil fuels typically have an age of 1 billion years and sometimes more than 650 million years.
Fossil fuels. Fossil fuel is a term used to describe a group of energy sources that were formed from ancient plants and organisms during the Carboniferous period approximately 360 to 286 million years ago, even before the age of dinosaurs. At that time, the land was covered with swamps filled with organisms and plants. As they died, they sank to the bottom of swamps and oceans and over millions of years started decomposing under layers of sand, clay, and other minerals. Different types of fossil fuels formed depending on the combination of organic matter, temperature, time, and pressure conditions while decomposing. There are three major types of fossil fuels: coal, oil, and natural gas. Coal was formed from ferns, plants, and trees, which hardened due to pressure and heat. Oil was formed from small organisms like zooplankton and algae, where pressure caused the more complex organic matter to decompose. Natural gas was formed by the same process as oil, only it was exposed to more heat and pressure, causing it to further decompose and turn into a gaseous form. Fossil fuels are sought-after energy sources because they have a high energy density. They are the world's dominant energy source. Fossil fuels have a variety of applications from electricity production to transport fuels. They can also be used to make a variety of common products, from plastics to cosmetics to even some medicines. These resources have powered industrialization over history and continue to do so today. Fossil fuels can be an abundant and cheap, or in some cases, a scarce and expensive form of energy, depending on geographic location. For this reason, geopolitical issues arise due to scarcity caused by the natural geographic allocation of these highly valuable resources. Fossil fuels are considered non-renewable resources because they take millions of years to form, which means that once they are used, the resources will not be replenished in a human lifetime. The gradual depletion of the most accessible fossil fuel reserves have forced companies to develop technologies for extracting more challenging or unconventional reserves. In many cases, this means additional safety and environmental concerns as well as higher costs. Fossil fuels are also the largest emitters of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas which causes climate change. In addition, their production causes both environmental and human health issues. these concerns have triggered society to look at alternate sources of energy that are more environmentally sustainable and renewable. That's fossil fuels.